listeners, thank you for tuning into my channel as we enter some of the most intense yet beneficial days of this year. We have the planet of love, finances and beauty enter its own zodiac sign, Taurus, in all its strength, and that will help us manifest our desires. When a planet is in its own sign, it manifests very well, and in Venus, which rules love, finances and beauty, that's where the focus of strength will come from. We have talked of the upcoming intensity and the new beginnings, but let's talk about this very supportive aspect which will continue to support us till 8th of May. My name is Charu. I'm your host on this journey. So let's dig in. First, I'd like to apologize that we did not do a video for the last 2 days. I was busy in some birthday R&R. I had my birthday on 14th of April, right after the new moon, and I'm hoping for a very beautiful start this year with your kind support and your subscriptions. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That will help me do more videos on this channel on a more regular basis if I have higher subscription. I always appreciate your comments, your likes and your encouraging words. So let's dig in. Venus rules our relationships, our heart, our artistic creativity, as well as the women in our life, finances and our value system. It's a satellite of Sun, which influences the choices we make, and when it's in a sign of strength, we make good choices in these areas, in the area of relationships, in the area of heart matters, in the area of creativity. In women make better choices when Venus is in its strength, in its zodiac sign, and finances and value system go through a positive change. Venus in Taurus desires stability, both emotionally and materially. So, together, as we are under the influence of Venus and Taurus till 8th of May, we will experience that the choices we are making in our life, when it's related to finances, when it's linked to relationships, when it linked to our value system, creativity and the women in our life, we would look for more stability and long-term results. We'll seek peace, we seek harmony, we seek beauty, we seek long-lasting relationships and financial abundance. Emotional loyalty and reliability is very important to Venus in Taurus. Venus in Taurus is very sensual as well. As you know, Taurus is a zodiac sign, is linked with 5 senses. Venus in Taurus enjoys indulging in good living, enjoys good food, wine, arts, and this is going to be reflected in the choices we would make over the course of next 3 weeks when Venus is in Taurus. Venus in Taurus has stability and permanence to it, but it's not the kind that Saturn imposes. It's a stability and permanence of choice. Venus in Taurus only wants to stay in places and with people that provide highest quality of pleasure, a sense of self-value, and satisfaction of practical, tangible kind. Somebody who pleases our 5 senses. It's not frivolous, but it's also not a lunar mother. Most women confuse the role of lunar mother, moon, and Venus. And that distinction needs to be made in the choices we make when Venus is in Taurus. Moon is a nurturing mother. Venus is not the same. And the two are very distinctive in our chart. Moon is where we nurture others. Venus is where we attract things to us. And Venus in Taurus in its strength helps us attract artistic capabilities, creativity, success in relationships, success in finances towards us. Venus in Taurus does not go and promises to nurture others. Luna Mother is the one that does that. Luna Mother gives birth. She nourishes. She comes with emotional strings of its own, which the man or the woman they have given birth to need to outgrow as they discover their own capacity to love and nurture. Moon needs to belong to somebody. Venus doesn't belong to anybody. Venus attracts, and this is a very clear distinction that women, as they move from their role as an individual, as a nurturer, to somebody who attracts finances, attracts abundance, attracts love in their life, sometimes do not distinguish very well. Although Venus is linked with women, but Venus is also present in men's chart. This is the way we attract love towards us. This is the way we attract finances towards us. Venus attracts by being embodiment of everyone's desire and a source of pleasure. There is so much taboo attached to that, but in that taboo, we have lost the feminism embedded in Venus. This is not objectification of women. This is not weakness in love. This is power that comes through valuing ourselves. There's nothing lost in giving oneself to another, for she always has herself. She always belongs to oneself and not another. So love is more free, more embracing, full of sensuality. Erotic love that Venus and Taurus represents has been made so taboo over years of rules of society and pseudo-feminism that it has lost its power and its Aphrodite qualities. Venus in Taurus now comes with Uranus in Taurus. So there will be way more financial surprises, freedom, innovation than we normally observe in financial markets. You'll see a lot of volatility in the financial markets, especially when the two are together around 22nd of April. We'll see changes and shifts which are generational in fashion, in designs, with women, in love, in sex, in marriages, in good taste and good living when these two are together. It's kind of de-tabooing the Aphrodite nature of Venus, as each one of these surprises adds more authenticity to our desires. It takes out the traditional taboo that is attached to the method of attaining the objects of our desire, as well as the taboos that are attached to the objects we desire. 22nd of April is when this shows up. Through this annual global shift, which is progressive and spread over years while Uranus is in Taurus, the fixed nature of how Venus is looked at is being shifted with each of those transits that happen annually till 2025. With each such contact, a personal value system shifts in line with the changes our collective consciousness is undergoing, releasing full potential according to a new ideal we are setting up as a generation. I find this process of releasing the Aphrodite and women from the taboo of the past, where she must be a moon, she must be a nurturer, she must be a safety seeker, and not a Venus, not a sexual being, not a charmer, not a pleasure seeker. Very freeing and evident. Aphrodite, Venus, gives herself to the one she desires, not the one who she needs, or not the one who needs her. She doesn't barter her passions and love for stability and safety. She is unabashed in her seduction and enchantments. She radiates absolute power of attraction, not with a promise to nurture, sacrifice, and to get caught up in emotional bondages. She attracts because of what she is, not for what she would do for another. It's the embodiment of absolute self-love and self-value, not depending on another's love for self-worth, and hence being able to joyfully give herself to another without the strings attached. She doesn't hook up, for she is the hook. Every man, a woman, is hooked not for they see a nurturer or a mother in them, but because they see how they wish they loved themselves in another. She doesn't choose that. She chooses her own reflection. Because she is not a moon looking for security. She's looking for an equal. I also relate this to prominence of women in finance and shift in their position in the financial world, where they were not considered to be lusty enough to perform well. In Taurus Venus, we all do things to create this sense of permanence within us by deepening our own sense of value, by investing in ourselves, by making ourselves more valuable, by shifting how we create value in our life away from past stable sources. And in that, with Uranus, she's not afraid of falling short of past collective values and morals. This shift tends to cause changes in marriages and family structures and sources of income. Even though they might look impulsive, but they are driven by an irrevocable change that's happening in what we desire and how we love and value ourselves as a collective. The vows are not broken out of spite, but out of passions, out of wanting to live and feel alive. One may never stay or find home with that passion, but that passion becomes a source of awakening for that person to a deeper, authentic sense of what they value, want, and desire. Uranian relationship, Uranus driven relationships, whether they are through a transit of Uranus or through this aspect that's happening on 22nd of April, those relationships are always a means to fully come into ourselves. The unsuitable affairs, the unsuitable financial pursuits all cause deep hurt to those involved, but they have to be had because denial of those is also suffering. Venus is not concerned with being morally right, for its moral obligation is to get their desires right. And disconnecting from our Venus can make us right in the society, but it will never make us right within us. No volume of being right with the society can compensate for not being true to one's own desires. Even though society will try hard, as we would have Saturn making a hard aspect to this Venus, which is being de-tabooed, and we would experience this in form of women's censorship or financial regulations or oppression of our choices in our personal life, sometimes through our own old archaic values. You'll experience that at the same time when Venus is striving to be freed. This freed Venus becomes a harlot in our parents' and society's eyes. And it doesn't have to do with sex, it doesn't have to do with relationships, it's about financial freedom as well. The things that you're going to do to become your own person, your own desired individual, will make you feel like a harlot in your parents' and your society's eyes, because she chooses herself. She's no more that nurturer. She seems to seduce others as well into making those choices too. But remember, losing that so-called harlot within us for society also makes us lose our spontaneous joy, pleasure, and self-confidence. No amount of compensation through pursuit of intellect, through worldly success, through raising our spiritual heights, through becoming someone who everyone likes will ever compensate for the loss of self-value that comes from denying our own body, our own choices, our own sources of pleasure, beauty, and satisfaction. Religion and society will never agree with this perspective, for they are like Saturn, not Venus. Society is not personal. Everything in our life reflects this sense of love for ourselves. Every choice we make, whether we take care of our body or not, what food we eat, who we decide to have in our life, what profession we pursue, all our life choices are reflection of this freedom to choose ourselves that either we deny or give ourselves. Uranus tries to free that choice, while Saturn tries to suppress it. We will experience both of them this year, and many of us experience either one or another in our birth chart, making it our life choice. What will follow after this aspect that will play around 22nd to 25th of April, when we will have Saturn and Uranus meeting Venus, would be Venus meeting Pluto on 5th of May. This is when the raw libido of Aphrodite meets Pluto, the underworld lord, in positive aspect. This is happening at a degree of fixed star algol. So we would have to be a little bit careful of obsessions that will come out around 6th of May. At this degree, Venus truly transforms into Lilith herself. Everything that men feared in feminine herself, she becomes the wild, raw, frightening face of that feminine, which is labeled as demonic or evil. She's very seductive, strong karmic pull. The relationships that are given birth to when Venus or Pluto together are obsessive and karmic in nature. And this immense feminine passion and power may not be evil in itself, but how it's used can be. Strong consuming passions come out of that, and they can be lashed out in form of anger and rage if they're not satisfied, but they can also leave us with a lot of power to transform art forms. As we are charged with strong, intense, even sexually charged energy, we can channel it for creating deeper beauty in art as we see far beyond normal instead of trying to repress it. We can create media, poetry, dance, investment opportunities, stable, long-lasting assets full of passion, instead of trying to suppress it under the societal pressure, which will give rise to rage and possibly hurt. Financial investments can be made through intensive acumen research as well under the influence of that Venus-Pluto trine that will happen around 5th of May. But before that aspect happens, expect the unexpected. In love, finances, arts, and women. Expect that our women, our love language, sex, marriages, movies, dance, drama, actors, art, music, dancing, entertainment, pleasure, bedrooms, cosmetics, fashion, designers, gambling, glamour, prosperity, currency systems are in for a world of change, which comes exaggerated in this annual contact that we will arrive at 22nd of April. Also expect financial rules, regulation, and censorship of these new methods that the new free world is using for attaining its worth. But know that we cannot unring Uranus. Uranus is irrevocable, as it frees the harlot within us, frees the plunging necklines, the unabashed curves to zigzagging financial markets being threatened by individuals who are feeling free in their worthiness, and that will threaten the financial security, make the conservatives outside and within us sweat during this Venus transit. It's a very different Venus transit in Taurus than we ever experienced, because now it comes with external planets making contacts with them, especially a conjunction with Uranus, which we are experiencing for the first time in our lifetime, and it will continue till 2025, over which our financial world, our love language, and the way women are in the society will change forever. So good luck for this transit, and I'll see you in the next video now. Thank you.